Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagadam Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagadam Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapt Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. So welcome to our class on the Srimad Bhagavatam this Friday afternoon. And joining us here are Smriti Mataji from Folsom, Priyanka Mataji from Fremont, and Garima Mataji was already there, very good. And we have Sonal Jariwala Mataji and Achna Mataji also joined us today. All right, good. So we will get started. And oh, how come I don't see you, Varshan? There you are. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. I know it's an unearthly hour of the day for you, but you still can come to these calls, and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm so impressed by your dedication, that despite all the odd hours and extra work that you do around the house, you still come to these classes. Amazing. And it goes to all of you there as well, because sometimes it's a chore even to come during the day to a class. Forget about late night or early morning.
I know.
So let me get going here, and I will give you the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that we are reading. And all right, let's see here. It is first canto, 7th chapter, and the verse number is 34 coming up on a screen close to you. And let me know. Varshana Mataji, I know you like to follow along, so I'm just going to post it on the chat window. It will be a little bit easier for me to do it that way, since we are just the two of us, going to be two of us here on the Zoom call. So I sent it on the chat, Mataji, 1734. And if anybody can confirm that they got it, but for you to confirm, I know I have to unmute you all. All right, mute is
All
off.
participants are unmuted. Yes, you got it.
You got that? All right. So also welcoming Sonia Mataji into the call. So 1734. So we are talking about Ashwathama and what was the horrible thing he did. And then the Brahmastra he released subsequent to that. And then after that, Arjuna is there. He retracts both the Brahmastra, and he's angry at, he catches hold of Ashwatthama. He's very angry at him, and he bound him by ropes like an animal. So that's what he did last week. And this week, we're going to see what happens further after that. So going into verse number 1.7.34.
Got it, Mother.
Got that? All righty. So it's a beautiful verse here. Shibiraya ninishantam Rajva bandhva ripubalat Praharjunam prakupito Bhagavan ambujekshanaha. Shibiraya. Shibiraya means, like, how we have this word shivir. We use the word shivir in for military camps. So here also, Shibiraya means on the way to the military camp. Ninishantam, while bringing him. Rajva, by the ropes. Badhva, bound up. Ripum, the enemy. Balat, by force. Praha, said. Arjunam, unto Arjuna. Prakupitaha, in an angry mood. In a greatly angry mood. Bhagwan, the personality of Godhead. Ambuj ikshanaha, who looks with his lotus eyes. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After binding Ashwathama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, looking on him with his lotus eyes, spoke to Arjuna in an angry mood. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Both Arjuna and Lord Krishna are described here in an angry mood. So last week, Arjuna was angry. This week, Krishna is angry. But Arjuna's eyes were like balls of red copper, whereas the eyes of the Lord were like lotuses. This means that the angry mood of Arjuna and that of the Lord are not on the same level. The Lord is transcendence, and thus he is absolute in any stage. His anger is not like the anger of a conditioned living being within the modes of qualitative material nature. Because he is absolute, both his anger and pleasure are the same. His anger is not exhibited in the three modes of material nature. It is only a sign of his bent of mind towards the cause of his devotee, because that is his transcendental nature. Therefore, even if he is angry and the object of anger is blessed, he is unchanged in all circumstances. Okay, so let's go talk about this verse, and we'll start with our favorite pastime every Sad Friday, in which you all enthusiastically participate, and that is to look at the Sanskrit of this word and look at some of the Sanskrit words that are coming up here. So what would you say that if somebody is bound by ropes? So by ropes, what is the Sanskrit for that? Rajva, right. Rajva. And then Badhva will bring that he's bound by ropes. So Badhva and Rajva means bound by ropes. Okay. Who is an enemy? Ripu is an enemy. What is a military camp? If somebody is very angry, very good. Shibiraya. If somebody is very angry, what do you say? Prakupita, right? So if you add the pra to anything, it actually intensifies it. So kupita is angry, but then prakupita is really, really angry. Like that. Have you ever been really, really angry in your life? Anybody wants to confess? Meda says, okay, Meda is smiling. All right, and so we have Apara Gorangi Mataji on Facebook, joining us on Facebook, and so is Thomas Haribol Prabhu. Welcome, and Raja Madana Luvali and Deepak Bharadwaj Prabhu. Thank you so much for joining the call, as well as those who joined us again here on the audio conference. I see Medha Mataji is there. That's very good, as well as Preeti Radhika is also there. So that makes it even better now here. Okay. So you say that at some point or the other, we all have been angry, right? Okay. And balat means by force. If you're doing something by force, it is bal, right? Force means bal, right? Which name of the god talks about his force? Very good, for 20 points. Okay. So we have been talking about anger, a favorite topic. People make a lot of money out of it by telling people, counseling people about anger management, like that. Right?
Today's world is a lot of anger with so many protests.
Yeah, yeah. Today's world is full of anger. Yes, you can see how the anger is being demonstrated, channelized in the wrong direction. Yeah, yeah. So let's go back to last week and look at Arjuna's anger first, right? So Arjuna's anger was in verse number 1733, and I'll send you the link to 1733 as soon as I construct it here. And you can open up and also confirm so that I know when to start talking about that verse. So coming up on your WhatsApp group here, close to you, and then here again on for those of you who are watching on Facebook and like to dabble on verses. So here's the verse number 33 from last week, and verse number 34 is the verse from today. Right now we're going to look at verse number 33. Can you confirm you got it? Can open it? Okay. All right. And let's look at the Sanskrit. So tat asadya tarasha darunam gautami sutam babandhamar amarshatam rakshaha pashum rasnaya yatha. So here the third line was the important one, which we spent some time last time. And what was it? It said that babandha. Babandha means to bound up somebody. And with what? With ropes. He had done that, right? Amarsha is angry. Tamra akshaha. This was a new thing that we had learned, and we played with this word last week. Said tamra akshaha. Tamra aksha means with copper red eyes. So talking about Arjuna, right? So this was describing Arjuna. In the translation, it says Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper, dexterously arrested the son of Gautami and bound him with ropes like an animal. So that is Arjuna's anger, and which has been very beautifully depicted in one of the poems that I had read when I was young or a child. And it also talks about metaphors. So I read it as part of Hindi grammar, as part of metaphors written by a very famous author, Maithili Sharan Gupta. And so he's describing that when Arjuna hears that Abhimanyu has been killed, so his reaction, and then after that his pratigya that I'm going to kill whoever has killed my son, like that. So he describes it as uskaal mare krodh ke tanu kaapne unka laga मानो हवा के जोर से सोता हुआ सागर जगा मुख बाल रवि समलाल होकर काल सा बोधित हुआ प्रलयात उनके मिस यहाँ क्या काल ही क्रोधित हुआ. So like beautifully describing Arjuna's anger. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and they had killed Abhimanyu when he was unarmed, like that. And it was not a one-on-one battle. There were rules of fighting, and they all kind of ganged up and then descended on him, and they killed him. And so Arjuna obviously is very, very angry at this atrocity on his son. And so the poet has described that his face became red with anger. And his body started shaking in anger. And it's the same Arjuna whose body was shaking in chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita, but that shaking was a different kind of a shaking. That shaking was, he was overwhelmed with, seeing the compassion and love, etc., for the other side, other party in the war. And he was like, how can I even kill them? So that kind of a shivering of the body is a different shivering of the body than the shivering of the body that happens here because he's angry. So he says that he got angered as Mano hawa ke zor se sota hua sagar jaga. So it's saying as if, when you go to the ocean, it's calm and quiet. It's as if it's sleeping. But then if a tornado comes, so there's air over the ocean, then the ocean also gets agitated, right? And so sometimes with us also, there's a storm in our life. Most of the times we are like the ocean, but when the storm comes in our life, we also get agitated like the ocean, and then we go like that. So so Arjuna is also, same thing is happening like that. Mano hawa ke zor se sota hua sagar jaga, right? Mukh bal ravi sam lal hokar. So what it's saying is that bal means a young, and ravi means the sun, right? The sun. So sun in the morning is young, right? So this his face became red like the morning sun because of anger, right? And it looked like death personified coming at you, right? And pralayat unke mis yahan kya kaal hi krodhit hua. And he says that, oh my goodness, if you agitate a person like Arjuna, who's capable of killing and has got some powerful weapons with him, right? He had the Pashupas, he had the Gandiva, whatnot, right? And a quiver that could never be exhausted from arrows and all that kind of stuff. So we better stay on his good side. We better not rub him the wrong way. And that's why he's saying that, oh, because of all that, pralayat. Pralayat means for the purposes of destruction of everybody. Did that happen to Arjuna? Right? Did Kal himself come there like that? So that is Arjuna's anger. It is not a transcendental anger. It is very much a material anger. And we all are in material body and we suffer material anger and make others suffer from our material anger like that. But Krishna also gets angry every now and then. But his anger is a very different type of an anger. He doesn't, yes, he gets angry, but because his anger is a transcendental anger, right? Now, Krishna is transcendental. Krishna's anger is transcendental. His transcendental anger in the end is going to be beneficial, right? And Prabhupada was saying that in the purport that Krishna is absolute, Krishna is transcendental. And I had explained last time also that the transcendental world is different. The rules of the transcendental world are different than the rules of this material world. In the transcendental world, an object and its qualities are all the same. For example, a person's name and the person himself are the same. An object's name and the object's himself or itself are the same. For example, water, the name water and the substance water are the same in the transcendental world, but the name water and the substance water here are different in the mundane world, in the sense that if you are thirsty, then by just calling out and saying water, 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 and saying that water is dancing on my tongue, it's not going to quench your thirst. But in the transcendental world, it happens like that, right? So here also, Prabhupada is saying in the purport that if we are talking about Krishna's anger, it's in the transcendental realm. And in the transcendental realm, it's not a realm of duality. Like here in this material world, we have two of everything. In the sense that, if there is happiness, then on the other end of the spectrum, there is distress. If there is rich, then there is poor. If there is strong, then there is weak. If there is beautiful, then there's the ugly, like that, right? So there's always the opposite, the two of everything. Right? Male, female, like that. So there, in the transcendental world, it is not like that. So, and something which is incomprehensible for us is that, love and hate are also the same. Similarly, anger, it doesn't matter. It's an absolute anger of Krishna. It'll only in the end, mean the same thing. So Krishna is angry at you, or Krishna is pleased at you. Over there, it's one and the same thing. Why? Because it is transcendental. It is not exhibited in the three modes of material nature. So modes of material nature is under which we are there, right? Like that. Was there a question there? I heard something.
Mataji, can you give example of Krishna's transcendental anger incidents?
Yes. This right now is a transcendental anger, right? So he's speaking to Arjuna in an angry mood, right? And so this verse itself is saying and making a contrast that in the previous verse, how are Arjuna's eyes defined? Described. Sorry, not defined.
Red.
Copper red, right? How are Krishna's eyes defined? Lotus feet. Like lotus color, not lotus feet. They are like lotus, right?
Lotus.
Okay? So he's lotus eyed. So we're not saying that his eyes became big, his eyes became copper colored and all that kind of stuff, right? He can become angry like that also. Can you give me an example of when Krishna is really angry?
When in Mahabharata, Mataji, when Parshuram he had to kill, then he took the instead of any shastra, he took the wheel of the chariot and threw it. That time he was angry.
Okay, and then another form of Krishna in which he's very angry, and I think I heard it. Narasimha Avatar is what you're saying. Yes, correct, for 20 points, and both of you, get some points there, right? So Krishna can express anger has expressed anger in many ways, but what we have to remember is the end result of that anger, right? End of the result of the anger is always beneficial. And Prabhupada is saying the last, therefore, even if he is angry, the object of the anger is blessed. He is unchanged in all circumstances. Because Krishna, whether Krishna is angry or Krishna is happy, nothing changes in Krishna, right? Like that. So, for example, Krishna also got angry at Rukmi. You know, Rukmi is Rukmini's brother. So Rukmini's brother was getting him married off to Shishupal. And Rukmini did not want to marry him. She then writes to Krishna and says, you know, please help me. And in those days, if a lady called out to you and said, please help me, you would go and help. And, you know, if she said, I want to marry you, you would marry them. So Krishna runs away with Rukmini, kidnaps her. And then, of course, the brother is angry, so he puts a big fight. And so Krishna obviously is angry at him, but then what he does is that he doesn't kill him. He can kill him also. So Krishna also has control over his anger, because it won't be much good, yeah, if you kill your wife's brother like that. So he just shaves off his head, and, you know, which itself is enough humiliation for Krishna. Another example of Krishna becoming angry, and which results in such a wonderful end results, is when Krishna is there with Yashoda Maya, and he has been stealing a lot of butter and all kinds of, you know, goodies, like yogurt and butter, feeding it to monkeys, and doing that in other people's homes like that. And so when the gopis come and complain to Yashoda, Yashoda starts to feel very bad. And she says, why does my son behave like that? Why does she have to go and eat curd at other people's home? Maybe my maidservants don't make it properly. So I will make it nicely. So, you know, she has been boiling the milk and, you know, processing it a lot. And it's Diwali time. And, you know, she wants to make nice things for Krishna with that milk. So she has put the pot on the stove. And then Krishna is hungry. So she's also feeding Krishna her own milk. And then while she's feeding Krishna, then the milk starts to boil over. And then when the milk starts to boil over, she is now in a dilemma. Just as Krishna, just as Arjuna in our lecture in the morning on Bhagavad Gita is in a dilemma. He says, that I know not etat katran viddamo nagariyo. I do not know whether it is good for me to kill them or be killed by them. Like, you know, whether we should win over them or they should win over. So there's a dilemma. So similarly, and we all face different kinds of dilemmas in our life. And so Yashoda Maiya was also in a dilemma. What should I do? Should I continue to feed Krishna and thereby the milk will boil over? And when the milk boils over, I won't be able to make nice yogurt for him. And then he will go and steal again. And then, you know, the gopis will be angry at him. So she has a positive reason to go and save the milk. But then on the other hand, she's also feeding Krishna like that, right? And so she sets Krishna aside and then she runs to save the milk like that. And Krishna gets angry. And then what does Krishna do in his anger?
Yeah, he was
He
angry.
breaks all the pots. Exactly right. He takes stones and he breaks all the pots. So when Yashoda comes back, so Yashoda is angry now, right? Yashoda is angry, and then she goes after him with a stick. And then what happens when she goes after him with a stick? Krishna is really scared of his mom. And then he starts to run away. And when she starts to run away, she catches, right? And she ties him to what?
Mortal.
A mortar, right? A big mortar. And Krishna is really angry now. So he's so angry that he starts dragging the mortar and takes it in between two Arjuna trees, which are there in the courtyard, have been there for quite a long time. And then Krishna goes and drives his mortar to the two trees, and the trees fall down. And lo and behold, as soon as the trees are killed, from within the tree come Nal Kuber and Mani Griva, the sons of Kubera, who have been there because of the curse of Narad Muni for improper behavior. And then Krishna comes and liberates them. So you see, whatever anger he was doing, in the end, it ended in something nice and something good, right? But we see that the kind of anger that we do, and especially here in Kali Yuga, because of the pressures, because of the ambience, and because of the types of things that we eat, because of our strong material desires, there's a lot of anger in all of us. And we see that in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the beginning, we see, but for us, you know, it'll come later, around 9th chapter, is that when Parikshit Maharaj was going out for hunting, and over there he was he got separated from the rest of his team, and he kind of got lost in the forest, and he was looking, and he was hungry, and he was thirsty, and he was looking for if there is some place where I can go and get some water. And then he sees a hermitage. So he's very happy. He enters the hermitage, and then he sees that there is a person who's sitting with his eyes closed, and he's in meditation. Now, normally when you are when you are sitting your eyes closed and you're trying to chant, right, the names of the Lord in your mind and focus your attention, for most of us, if somebody enters the room, we know about it, that that person has entered the room. And but in this case, Shamik Rishi, who was meditating, he did not move. So Parikshit Maharaj did not know whether he's really in samadhi or whether he's just pretending. And so he was thinking that at that time, the thought was planted in his head that I am a king and he's my subject. I have come into his hermitage. He should respect me because you respect people who come to visit you. So what he does is he says, okay, let me test. Now, this Parikshit Maharaj is very good at testing. His name is called Parikshit because he examines. He's examiner, right? Why does he examine? Why has he got into this habit of examining things? And that is because he has, when he was in the womb of his mom, the same our dear Ashwathama that we are talking about had, aimed the brahmastra at him in the womb, and he'll do that later again. So he had aimed the brahmastra on him, and Krishna had gone inside and revived him. So he sees Krishna in a very beautiful form described in the Bhagavatam, and he sees that, and he likes it. Obviously, anybody who sees Krishna, will always be searching for Krishna like that. So after he's born, then of course that Krishna vision is gone, and he's always looking at, where is that Krishna that I met before I was born? Where is that Krishna? So for everybody, he would examine them very scrutinizingly to see, is this one Krishna, or is this one Krishna, or is this the Krishna who came and met me like that? So he was always examining things. So from there, he gets the name Parikshit, right? From Pariksha, or exam, like that. So Parikshit was in the habit of testing and seeing. So he says, all right, let me test and see. Let me test and see, is he really in samadhi or is he just pretending like that? So what he does is, there's a dead snake. So it's dead, so it's harmless. So he takes a dead snake and he flings it and puts it around the neck of the sage. And he continues to sleep. He continues to be in samadhi. So then, Parikshit Maharaj just leaves. Now, all this incident is being envisioned by the Rishi's son, a young Brahmin boy called Shringi, who's out somewhere playing with his boys. But because of the Brahminical powers that people had at that time, he was able to see what is happening to his father, and he was very hurt by the fact that the king comes in and flicks a dead snake around my father's neck. So he curses him. And in those days, Brahmins were very powerful, and their curses really came to fruition. And so he cursed the king that he would die in 7 days from the bite of a snake bird. Right? So this is Shringi's anger, completely uncontrolled, casting a curse without even knowing the reality behind a particular incident, right? And we all have behaved like Shringi, if not in, cursing somebody, but at least coming to wrong conclusions just by looking at things in a superficial manner. So this is his anger, right? But in contrast, we go there, and when the news reached Parikshit Maharaj that he has been cursed by Shringi to die in 7 days, Parikshit Maharaj was not angry at all. He accepted it and, renounced everything, went and sat on the banks of the Ganges. And he was asking the question that, what am I supposed to do? If I'm going to die in 7 days, what am I supposed to do, like that, right? So you see that all this is happening towards the end of the Dwapar Yuga. And so Kali Yuga is starting to have a little effect on the people, but then again, you see that Kali Yuga did not have an effect on Parikshit Maharaj, but it did have an effect on Shringi. And because of this wrong way in which Shringi had cursed, all the Brahmanas actually lost their power to curse. So now any Brahmana curses us, it's not going to come true for us like that, right? So there's a difference between the anger of a human being and anger of a Lord. Now, when we get angry, right, it has a negative effect on us, right? What are the things that happen to you when you are angry and after you are angry? Like to share? Anybody like to share?
It just our mind, like after that anger episode is over, then you realize, oh my God, what was the need?
Okay. So Priyanka.
It has,
Yeah, go ahead, Priyanka. Sorry.
so yeah, it's like even after the anger has gone, there was like residue effect, and that's also bitter and not nice. And
Yeah.
so I mean, yeah.
Okay, so Priyanka Mati is saying that after you're angry, then you're sorry or you regret, and it's like, what did I do and why did I, like that, right? What about during the anger?
Your body can shake.
One at a time, yeah. Go ahead. Who?
So your body can shake, and then you also you'll be breathing very heavily.
You start breathing very heavily, your body will shake. Anything else happens?
You're not actually aware that you're so angry, because otherwise
you wouldn't do it. So something happens to your intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And what else happens? Does it have
you say something that you regret later.
You say something that you regret later, right? But does it affect your body in any way? Does
Flight
it have?
or fight, attack?
Yeah.
Body chemistry changes.
Okay, the body can do that, yeah. But does it have a negative effect? Like if a person is angry all the time and another one is not angry, do they have a difference in how many diseases this one will get versus that one will get?
Yeah, Mataji, many people got heart attack while getting angry.
While they are angry, exactly. It can take you to such a level, such a limit, and such a height, right? That anger is there. So, and then we had talked about that anger can happen. Why anger happens? It's a cyclical thing, right? It all starts with your desire, right? Calm comes first. Calm means desire. So calm is the elder brother of Krodh. So first there is calm, and when it is not fulfilled, when your desire is not fulfilled, then the anger happens. Right? Next time you feel that you're getting into an angry mood, just analyze at that time and see, like, what is it that is causing you to be angry? What is bringing in this angry mood? And you'll see that there's always a desire at the back of it. Desire that I want to have dinner at such and such a time, and dinner is not ready. So Mr. Anger arrives, right? Desire to that finish a project in time did not happen. Desire to reach office in time, the red light comes up. Now be angry at the red light. Desire to drive uninterrupted, somebody cuts you over, angry at him, like that, right? Desire to control other people and they do not obey you, anger comes over there, like that, right? So you always see that it always starts with a desire, like that, right? And so anger is going to happen like that, but we have to remember that when it comes to the varna ashrama kind of a thing, then there are certain things that are meant for certain people to do, right? For example, our Shringi, he cursed, right? And but and by cursing he can kill, right? For example, Shringi killed Parikshit Maharaj by cursing. It's just that the effect came much later and it was not like a direct effect, but he's the original cause of Parikshit Maharaj having to leave, like that, right? But we have to remember the Brahmanas were very powerful, but we have to remember it is not the business of a Brahmana. It's not the business of a Brahmana to kill. Whenever killing is required, killing is to be done by the Kshatriyas and not the Brahmanas. The general rule is that. So that's why we see that when Vishwamitra was being given grief by so many Rakshasas, you pick up the Ramayana, you will see how many Rakshasas were there, demons, and they were all giving troubles to different kinds of sages, right? Paritranaya sadhunam vinachaya chaduskatam. That's why Krishna says, I come here to those who are bad and who are giving grief to the good ones, right? Indrari vyakulam lokam vridyante yuge yuge. So those who are being tortured. So when Vishwamitra was originally a Kshatriya, and then he did penances and austerities, he was elevated to the post of a Brahmana, because you are a Brahmana by actions. And then, but when he became a Brahmana, he was not interested in killing. So he can curse a demon and curse her to die, but he did not do that. He instead went to King Dashrath and he said, I need your help. Can I borrow your son? And then son is a Kshatriya, because Ramchandra was born in a Kshatriya family, and the Kshatriya goes and kills the son, right? So we have to keep this in mind, that this Brahminical thing, right? The Brahminical thing, and this Brahmanas have got some very good qualities that are there, right? So, and these qualities will be defined in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? And since we all are aiming to become Brahmanas, if not already Brahmanas, I'm just going to share the link of what the Bhagavad Gita tells us about who a Brahmana is, right? So if once you get that, just let me know. And then I'm going to post it on Facebook also. And I see there's a comment there on Facebook, and which is like, why? Okay, right, okay. Anger causes you to lose wisdom. Yes, anger causes you to lose your wisdom and also the power for reasoning. Very good. And then why King Parikshit had to keep looking for Krishna? He has to keep looking for Krishna because once he saw that beautiful picture of Krishna, he wants to see it again. And that is what Krishna is, You'll never get satiated you'll never have enough of him. You want to do it again and again, again and again. I saw him, I want to see it again. I saw him, I want to see him again. Actually, the same thing happened with Narad Muni also when he was meditating, and he was meditating, and then he was okay. I'm just going to stop a noisy line here. If I muted you, you can unmute yourself on the audio conference, because if there's a noisy line, then my words repeat back to me also. So the same thing happened with Narad Muni also. When he was a young boy, and his mom had died at the age of 5 when the boy was 5 years old, and so he was sitting and he was meditating, and he sees Krishna in his heart. And after he sees Krishna in his heart, he's so overjoyed. And his eyes are closed, and he is meditating in his heart, and he sees Krishna in his heart. And then, of course, he opens his eyes, and then, of course, Krishna is gone, and that vision is gone. And then what he tries to do is like, he's a boy, so he sits down tighter. And then he closes his eyes tighter, and he says, oh, Krishna, come, Krishna, come, Krishna, come. Where did he go? Where did he go? But Krishna, you cannot make Krishna come into your heart. Krishna has to reveal himself. And then while he has been trying this mechanical process to see Krishna, because once he has seen it, he wants to see him again. And so then Krishna says, a very grave voice, comes, and that says that, you will never see me in this lifetime because you still have some material propensities left in you. I just gave you a trailer of, what I look like so that you will want me even more. So then, Narad Muni listens to that. He spends the rest of his life in austerities. Then he dies. And then at that time, there is universal cataclysm also. Everything is destroyed. And then in the next time, when everything is created again, Narad Muni is born from Brahma. And that's when he, pursues his, we see him as how he is now, in his transcendental body, like that. So that is the reason, Raja, that Parikshit Maharaj was always looking for, where is he? Where is he? I want to see him again. I want to see him again. Right? Why did Krishna hid himself from Parikshit? Yeah, Krishna did not hide himself from Parikshit Maharaj. Krishna went while Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb of Uttara to save him. And after he had saved him and revived him from the Brahmastra, Krishna has to get out because he can't stay in Uttara's body. And then, and here's the thing, and it's a very good question and very deep question, Raja, because when the fetus is in the womb, right, that's where the fetus stays, and this is something that is for the human being specially. And then, if you are a very if you have done substantial amount of devotional service and you're a fortunate fetus, so to speak, then you remember your past 100 lives. What you did in those past 100 lives is there in your memory, and you're able to retrieve that memory while in the womb of the mother. And you know what I have done and what I have not done and what I should have done, like that. And Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, the third canto, 31st chapter talks about that. The movement of the living entities. It will start from when the fetus is conceived, and it starts with the growth, and which is kind of very much similar to what the science also says, like but science says certain things which are science will always say maybe, perhaps, or give a range. For example, it will say that between 3 to 5 days, the fetus, it begins to form. It's like a bubble, and it'll become like size of a pea or something like that, it'll say. But it'll say between 3 to 5 days. We do not know for sure whether it is 3, 4, or 5, 3.5, 4.5, quarter to 5. They don't know, right? But Shastras will tell you very precisely. It says Pancham Divasa, 5th day, very clearly it will say. And then what the science doesn't tell us now is that, okay, so they can track the progress. You can have ultrasounds. It'll tell you the growth, day by day, day by day, day by day. You can know what the fetus is looking like, what it is weighing, and all that kind of stuff you can do. But science doesn't tell you what the fetus is thinking. And what the fetus thinks, and a fortunate fetus that remembers his past 100 lives, is saying, what did I do? Krishna, I should have just, prayed to you, and I should have just gotten out of this mess of a material world, and praise to Krishna that, I will spend my life, when I'm born, I will spend my life in devotional service to you. Because the fetus is in a pretty precarious position because it's hanging upside down. And it's hanging upside down and is remembering all the bad things that it has done. And it's not a nice place to be inside a fetus. It's dark, it is damp, it is hot. And depending on if the mother is digesting something, the heat is produced. And there are lots of insects in our body. There are insects inside the womb, and they bite the fetus also over there. Right? So it's a very bad situation for the fetus to be there. And we don't think like that. We'll just say, oh, the child is kicking and this and that. It doesn't kick, it's in agony, like that. So that's what the Shastras tell us. So, and then here is where the Maya comes into picture. So this Parikshit Maharaj has seen Krishna, seen that vision, but then when he's born, that vision is gone because the Maya takes over. And so we open our eyes into this material world, and then we see this cute little mom and, very nice dad, and they're all loving and giving. They're hugging you, like, oh, cute little baby, we're going to call you Shnikki, like that. And that's it. Now, a person falls into Maya, forgets about everything that was prayed. And of course, if he was lucky enough to be born in a family where religious activities are going on, then it'll revive, right? If not, he's born in an extremely rich family, then, chances that he might not do, chances he might enjoy the wealth. If born into a wretched family, that's it, gone, worse. And still in a human body, but if you are in a animal body, then that's it. You don't have any faculty of thinking. Animals don't think, right? Or even if they think, there's more of an instinctive thinking rather than what we do is like, the kind of thinking that we do, what if analysis, deliberation, and things like that. So they don't do, they are more of the instinctive nature. So that's why it was not that Krishna hid himself from Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj has come into this material world, so he will, not be able to see him with this material eyes. But he still he's lucky enough to have the remembrance there that I had seen something like this when I was in the womb, and he wants to see it again like that. So it's like, and then finally, of course, he goes back to meet Krishna over there. So, and so there's a reflection. Divyangi Devi Dasi, thank you for joining us, and thank you, Garima, for jumping from Facebook to Zoom. It's always nice to do that. So he's saying that that this tells me that one has to keep doing austerities to get rid of material propensities. Yes. I would imagine that if Krishna has revealed himself once, it means you are redeemed. Yes. Keeping in mind lesson from yesterday, unless one gets rid of senses. Yeah, yes, we have to control our senses. One cannot be elevated to spiritual knowledge. I have kind ways to go. I have long ways to go. I'm so deep into material senses and consumed by Kam, Krodh, Moh, Shankar. I'm just confessing. Yeah, and that's fine. Confessing is the first start. It's the beginning. You confess, right? So you confess, and then the good thing, and you are from the law, you know that like especially when the police is going to track the mafia and bust the mafia, and they are just trying to get one person from there come over to their side and confess that I have been part of the mafia. I surrender to you. And they will say, okay, fine, we'll give you a new social security number, we'll change the color of your eyes, we'll give you plastic surgery, we'll move you to another place, you'll have a new name, new identity, new everything. But you tell us who the other people are, like that. So sometimes, when you confess, and if you go and confess to the right people, right? The right place, so you are confessing to Krishna here, then it is a good step. And remember, a long journey always begins with the first step, like that, right? Yeah. So, and even if it's a long way, if you get association, the long ways also become very short, right? Sometimes if you're all alone traveling on a plane, it's very difficult to travel, right? But if you're with some company, then you don't even know where those hours and hours or hours went. It's like, oh, like, are we landing? We didn't even know, like that. So yeah, if you're in good association, then you are good there. So yeah, so this was Parikshit Maharaj and the anger of Parikshit Maharaj versus the anger of Shringi. And again, here we are talking about anger of Krishna. That the anger of Krishna will always have a good feeling at the end of it. So I think I gave you verse number 842, right? And we didn't do that because I wanted to emphasize that we should all try to develop Brahminical qualities, right? Brahminical qualities, and these days all of us are born as Shudras. And so let me also go there to 1852. Shamo damasta pashacham shantirarjavamevacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. So translation, Prabhupada is saying that peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness, these are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work, right? So these are the qualities that they are talking about, right? The qualities of a Brahmana. And then we had talked about last week about the qualities of demons. Some of the demons have got some qualities. And I had quoted from the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where it is saying, Dambo darpo vimanasya krodha parashyam evacha ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampadam asurim. So what it says is that, pride, arrogance, conceit, but the main thing there was anger. So he's saying that anger is a demoniac quality. Now, before we start labeling us as demons or anybody else as demon, we have to remember that all of us have got many demons in our life. We all have got lots of bad habits, anarthas in us, and each of these demons has to be killed, right? And devotional service to Krishna will help us kill all the demons. And the interesting thing is that when you start doing so when we get angry, right? When we get angry and you're in an angry situation, right? Or somebody is angry at you, or you are getting angry at somebody, right? So let's see that you are angry at someone. What are some of the things that you can do when you are angry at someone? To going from the direction of that I am angry, this person did not do something, this person misbehaved or something like that. So if I'm coming from that particular direction, tell me what can happen?
You may want revenge.
You will want revenge. Okay. You may want
Hurt the person.
You may hurt the person.
Try to hurt.
Yeah. Right? So because of anger, coming from the direction of anger, these are some of the things that we do. Okay, juta utaro maro, right? Anything that comes in handy, you throw at that person, you want to do that. And these kind of rash activities are going to have long-lasting effect, which could be disastrous effects also, right? And Krishna says in the second chapter that we're reading, verse number 14, Mars pashastu konteya, shitoshur sukha dukkada, agam apanyu anityastam titikshasva bharata, right? So when anger is coming, also remember anger will go away, right? So anger will go away. So just learn how to tolerate that. Develop your tolerance muscle. You have to develop your tolerance muscle. So how do I develop my tolerance muscle? That is where the devotional service comes into picture. All these devotional knowledge comes into picture. All this knowledge, all this spiritual knowledge comes into picture. Right? So when somebody is angry with you, well, what you can do is you can tolerate them. You can try to change them, right? You can change yourself, or you can move away from that situation, right? So if you think that I'm not able to tolerate whatever this person is doing, right? Sometimes we get very angry. Somebody has got bad table manners. That itself can make us very angry, right? Kya muh se awaaz kar ke chabate ho, right? Like that. Somebody can say, get angry like that. Chammach nahi use karna aata. Ulte haath se fork pakda, something like that. So people can get angry that which hand do you have the fork, and why are you making a noise when you're chewing and things like that. So for very small reasons, people can get angry. And so what can we do? Either we can try to improve them, right? Or we can try to improve ourselves by becoming more tolerant, like that. Or you can walk away. If it's possible to walk away, you walk away. Well, but if there are 6 of you eating on a dining table, it's not good manners to just walk away, because everybody will know why you have walked away, like that. So you have to make a judicious selection. Okay? But then you also have to, sit back, and that's why tolerance helps. And that's why my famous thing that I keep telling almost every class is that between thinking and feeling and willing and acting, try to keep as much space as possible, and especially more space in the beginning between thinking and feeling, right? Before you come to the willing part of it, that, so thinking, okay, this person is behaving badly with me, then feeling bad about it, and then I'm going to blast him, and then actually blasting him, right? So these are the 4 stages before action actually happens, 3 stages before action actually happens. So if you try to put a lot of space, and then you learn how to deliberate at each stage of this happening, and which is that somebody is behaving obnoxiously to us. So it's very natural for us to start feeling, because we are a soul, right? And so this is coming, right? Somebody is behaving badly. We hear them say something. So the thoughts are arising, right? So be cognizant, be observant that these are the thoughts that are coming to me, the negative thoughts that are coming to me. Should I do these thoughts? Should I indulge in these thoughts? Not indulge in these thoughts. And then again, you can replace those thoughts with much better thoughts. You might want to go into the root problem of why is that person behaving in that way. For example, I just, look at somebody and I say, hi. And that person, just like a hi. And that's enough to get us, angry and hurt. Like, what does that mean? I was out there. I was so friendly. I raised my hands. And what did the person think? Like, they don't have the time. I also don't have the time. I made time for you. And this way, it can go on and on and on and on like that. But on the other hand, and then you get angry, and then, the thoughts are there, and you say, okay, I'm also going to be rough to that person. And you can go there and, collar them like that, and then stop talking to them afterwards. That's one line of action that you can do. And second is that even at that stage when you are thinking about it, you might just think like, what is wrong with that person? Is that person going through something that, for such a boisterous hello and hi that I did, they had to be so, stiff upper lip in, responding to my thing. So we always try to look at the situation from other person's angle, try to have some compassion over there, try to put some gaps between your feeling and the final action that happens, because you will never be sorry that you put a gap there. And like I said last time, that if you're really, really angry, write an email to yourself. Let it manifest on a paper and pencil, and then the anger will go away because it has manifested. Sleep over it. You will be in a better thinking position there. Because if you are very angry, as it was pointed out on Facebook, that you will get bewildered. You can get bewildered very easily, and the mind is not working. The intelligence is not working at all. And the end results of those are going to be completely disastrous. So this is a demonic tendency to do anger, unless we utilize it in the seva of the God. But let's not nurture anger, and let's not have a reserve of anger and encourage the acts of getting angry by saying, oh, one day I'll use them in the service of Krishna. There are better ways to serve Krishna. Leave those extreme ways to Hanumanji and exalted souls like him to use anger in the service of Krishna. We will just, we'll just stay where we are and, kind of just stay there, right? We will like to live like a Brahmana. And Brahmana, don't say that, oh, I'm not a Brahmana. I was born in a Kshatriya family. I was born in a Vaishya family. I come from a family of businessmen, yada, 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 yada. Brahmana is a quality. Brahman is a quality, right? It of the soul and the consciousness of the soul. What kind of a consciousness the soul is. And that is what the 18th chapter, verse 42 is telling you, that a soul, when a soul has got this type of consciousness, then when you put it in a body, it will behave according to that consciousness, right? But if the soul's consciousness has become dirty, then, whichever body you put it into, it will behave like that, right? For example, sometimes people tell ladies are supposed to be fine. Fine speech is one of the qualities of ladies that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So ladies are supposed to be softer and fine, but then are all the ladies in the world fine and soft? I mean, there are some ladies who will use words that, you will cover your ears hearing them, right? Why? You are in a woman's body. Why is this happening? Because it's not being driven from there. It's been driven from the consciousness of the soul, right? And between the soul, there is no male and female, right? So it's a consciousness of the soul that you are a Brahmin by nature. Otherwise, you see, when a Brahmin dies, what do you do with the Brahmin's body? Unmute yourself and tell me. It's a question. Work with me. When a Brahmin dies, what do you do to the body?
Mataji,
Burn.
what do they do differently?
So
Cremate it.
I was not asking what do
Burn.
you do differently. I was saying what do you do?
Cremate it. Burn it.
You commit, you burn it, right? Yeah. And Veda, you actually gave the answer by saying, I don't know, what do you do differently? You don't do anything differently, because the body of a Brahmin, body of a Kshatriya, body of a Vaishya, they're all the same. It is dead matter. It is just a body. It is the consciousness of the soul in that body that makes the body behave like this or behave like that, right? Because otherwise, if the body was Brahmana, if the body is Brahmana, then if you're burning that body, you're doing Brahman Hatya, like that, right?
Right.
So you have to think about that. It's the soul's consciousness. You are by which actually defines what kind of actions are going to be there, right? So we have to just also remember, and why I'm bringing in this Brahmana concept here is that our dear Ashwatthama is the son of a Brahmana, right? But we have been talking that he is actually, he's just a relative of the Brahmana, because look at the way that he has been behaving here, right? And so, because one might just think that what do I do with the Brahmana? And the other day I was talking about the story where when there was a test between how would you treat, and it was a test given to Duryodhan and to Yudhishthir in trying to determine who should become the ruler. They were given that situation that there are 4 people who have committed a murder. How are you going to sentence them? So Duryodhan just says that, oh, they killed somebody, they should be killed, tit for tat. That's what I'm going to refer to my Manu Samhita. It says, yeah, if you kill somebody, you will be killed. All right, kill him. Simple, right? But Yudhishthira doesn't do that like that. Yudhishthira says, okay, tell me a little bit more about their background. Oh, Brahmana, one is a Brahmana. One of them was a Kshatriya. One of them was a Vaishya. One of them was a Shudra. And Yudhishthira Maharaj came up with different punishments for all of them. Because you are a Shudra, your consciousness is like that, your duties were different, you did it, this much of punishment. Then Vaishya, you were at a higher consciousness and you committed murder, okay, this much of punishment. And then Kshatriya, you were supposed to protect, and you committed a murder, so even this much. And then Brahmana, of course, you knew all the Shastra. One who knows Brahman is known as Brahmana. You are supposed to be on a spiritual platform. What are you doing here? What did you do? So he said the punishment to the Brahmana should be the most, right? But then he didn't say that kill the Brahmana. He said, but you can't kill a Brahmana like that, because that's a rule that is there. Because a person is supposed to be at that consciousness. You just can't kill on your own like that. The Kshatriya will never do that. So he said, I will consult the other people. I will consult the other spiritual masters to see what are we supposed to do. Because there are some cases that, they might come and say, yeah, it doesn't matter if he's a Brahmin, he's not behaving like a Brahmin. So don't go by the body that I'm not supposed to kill this body. And that is what will happen here also. We are building just the case to prove that Ashwatthama is actually not the son of a Brahmana. Here are the qualities of a Brahmana. He did not follow any of these qualities. Number one, he's not supposed to kill. You took the task of killing into your hands just to please your friend Duryodhan. And second is, even if it came to killing, then you did so many mistakes. Number one, you killed somebody while they were sleeping. You never do that. A Kshatriya has a fair war. He'll have a fair game. Okay, you come up. Oh, your weapon fell down. Okay, I pick it up and give it to you. Come on, take this weapon. Now fight with me again. Like that. That's a Kshatriya's true Kshatriya spirit. He did not do that. They were sleeping, he killed them. They were boys, and he killed them. And they were unarmed, and he killed them. And he was himself a Brahmana, and he killed them. So he already has got 4 strikes against him. And so something has to be done like that. So Krishna right now is angry, and he will tell him to do something, but then if the plot is going to thicken, it's going to get more complicated. And we will cover that next week. So that you come again next week to this class. Okay, so I'll stop now over here. It's 5 o'clock. And if you have any reflections or questions, we can take them here now. And welcome to Rima Mataji, to Sudevi Mataji, and Divyangi was on Facebook, but now I see she's on Zoom. That's very good. Thank you for joining the class over here. And yeah, any questions, any
But I
reflections?
have one question.
Yeah, Mira, go ahead.
Well, I have two questions actually. One is about the explanation you were telling about what the baby is thinking inside the womb. Um, in other contexts, we have also learned how precious it is to get a human birth, and in that perspective, I was not sure why the soul, like the baby inside, is thinking it's a mistake. That is question number one.
I didn't get your question. Yeah, one at a time. I didn't get your question. So I heard till the essence I got from your question, and I'm repeating it because there are people on Facebook also who can't hear you because you're on my phone, was that we say that human birth is a good birth to have, right? It's the best possible body that you can get. And then what was your question on top of that?
Okay, so then inside the womb, today you said that Srimad Bhagavatam tells us what the baby even thinks, and the baby is thinking what the mistake it has made. So I just want to connect the two and see why the baby thinks it is a mistake to be born in a human body.
Oh, no. Okay, I got your question. So the question is that when the child is in the womb of the mother and is thinking of all the mistakes he made, right? So why does Medha's question is that why does he think it's a mistake to be born and a mistake to be in a womb? So Medha, that's not what he's thinking about. He's thinking about that in my so many previous births that I had, right? I did not do enough devotional service to go back, right? And I also made so many mistakes there in my thing. So now I have to take birth again in this material world. And I did not pay sufficient attention to the Lord. So that is the mistake I made. And so he's praying and saying, Lord, I will pray to you. As soon as I'm born, I will pray to you. And actually, he also prays within the womb. So within the womb, the child is praying. So that's why for pregnant mothers, we say that they should read the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you know of any pregnant mothers around you who don't have a Bhagavatam, please come and contact me. Yeah, they should. And you will see a marked difference between people who have children who have heard the Bhagavatam when they were in the womb of the mothers. You see their behavior when they are born. They are totally different people. You can see them. You see those kids and you ask, ask the mom, did you read the Bhagavatam? Like that. So it's so powerful. So it's praying, and the mother's prayer just augment the prayers of the child. But then you come out and the Maya happens, right? And we have our desires, because of which you got this body. So we are lucky. That's why it says that Brahmane Brahmite Kaun Bhagyavan Jeev. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that. Brahmane Brahmite Kaun Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So the soul which has been loitering across this Brahman, across this universe, in one type of body today, another type of body tomorrow, like that, going up and down the various species of life, right? And then once it gets a human body, and then that soul can do many things with the human body, right? You can behave like Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama is also a human body. We can behave like Arjuna, that's also a human body. We can behave like Srila Prabhupada, who was in a human body for our benefit, like that. So we have a choice. We have a free will. We can behave, even a human body, we can behave in so many different ways, right? But if I am very fortunate, then I will, to the mercy of, Guru and Krishna, I will get the Bhakti Lata Bij. I'll get the seed of devotional service. So all of you who are here on the call have already got that seed somehow or the other planted in you. Somebody planted it, you got infected from somewhere. And it's a good infection to have, right? Like that. So do we have anarthas? Yes, we all have anarthas. We have different kinds of anarthas. Somebody might be one who gets angry with a little bit of provocation. Somebody doesn't get angry, but he eats too much. Somebody speaks lies very smoothly, is very well behaved, talks very nicely to everybody, but has a habit of lying, telling untruth. Some people just have a habit of telling untruth for no reason at all. They're just so wired up that they have to not speak the truth, even if it's not beneficial for them. Like even if it's not getting them a gain, they just have to speak the untruth, like that. So all of us have got anarthas, and we have to, there are stages of devotional service, there are 9 stages of devotional service, and you have to, as you go through them, the stage where you get rid of the anarthas or the bad habits in you is the longest in the devotional service and can span across multiple lifetimes.
Hare Krishna, Shraddha Mataji.
Hi, Hare Krishna, Divyangi. Yeah, good to
I
see
actually have a question. Yeah, good to see you too. I was
you.
just
Yes, and
looking.
Medha, yeah, and Medha, I will come back to you for your second one. Yeah, but let's take
Okay,
Divyangi.
thank you.
Yeah.
I was just talking about exact this situation from third canto, from Srimad Bhagavatam, about what child thinks in the womb, and I was wondering, well, when the child is in the womb, he's already has a body, but
Yes.
he's not. But he's not influenced by the modes of material nature. Why it's like that? It's
Yes.
not working inside.
Yes, inside the body. Yeah, your modes of material nature catch you once you come out. Yes, that's a very good observation.
But why it's like? I mean, why it's like that? Because it's already considered material body, right?
Yes.
Forms.
Yes. It's a material body, but then even after you come out of the womb, right? You can still continue to think like that. Some people think, right? Some small kids you see, they are talking about God even when they are very small, right? So that choice is always yours, and that choice of what you do and what you don't do, right? For example, our Prahlad Maharaj, what was he doing in the womb? He was listening to Krishna Katha from Narad Muni,
Yeah.
right? He heard everything about devotional service while he was in the womb itself. And then what was Abhimanyu doing? He was hearing about the warfare, right? He was hearing about how to make a phalanx, because he knew that 7 stages of the phalanx he knew. And then his mom went to sleep, Subhadra goes to sleep, and then Arjuna stops speaking. So Abhimanyu doesn't know how to get out of that. He knows how to get in, right? So you are there, the faculties are there, you can hear. Some people are more exalted, they can hear more, the souls will have more faculties inside. But what you do after coming out is entirely dependent on your samskaras, right? What's there in your database, what are you supposed to do, like that. Yeah. So that's how it is, that in the womb. And again, if you read that chapter, it says not all the souls will do that. Some fortunate souls will do that.
Not all the souls will pray, or like all.
Not all the souls will remember 100 births and pray fervently. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
inside, everyone is remembering.
Yeah.
Well, we say.
Yeah, but how much of your previous birth that you remember, right? How much of your previous birth are you remembering? Some will remember 100 previous births, which is good, right? Because then you you have a much better spectrum on which to think. Okay, if you just remember one birth, you might just remember X number of mistakes you made. But you remember 100 different births, you now know more than that. Like there is 100 times X of mistakes that we made, and then you can have a determination that I'm not going to do that in the next. And that determination, even while the soul is thinking about it, is getting again etched, because the subtle mind is always there, right? Whether you're a baby or whether you are an adult, it's the same. And so that's all getting recorded there. And so when you come out again, you have got something good over there, or you didn't listen, you've got something bad over there. And sometimes people are so fortunate that they will, even after coming back out of the womb, they will still remember, like Jad Bharat, right? Even the body of a deer, he remembered his previous life, and he knew that I should not make the same mistake again, right? And then even when he comes next as Jad Bharat, he knows his previous 2 births and doesn't want to do that. So, case to case, situation to situation, it'll vary like that. Yeah. But yeah. But main thing to notice is that the fetus thinks something there inside the womb, but comes out, and Maya captures. So that's the most important thing. Maya captures. You are given a name as soon as you come out. So your identity crisis starts from there itself, right? Yeah, who am I? Am I the soul, or am I this, little whatever, they give you the name over there.
Thank you.
But the fetus thinks. We have to think about that. And that's why they say, there are so many moms who say that, oh, I used to play this song to the I used to play the song to the baby when he was in my womb. And so after the child is born, you play the same music the child knows. He behaves and reacts differently to the music, like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Medha, come on. Yeah. Let's take another one.
Krishna Mataji, I just wanted to share one comment to this Mataji who asked the question.
It was Divyangi Mataji.
Okay, Divyanshi Mataji. I once heard in one of the pravachan or the lecture that as long as there is an umbilical cord attached to the baby is not really breathing. So that's why this pran shakti is kind of, as long as it's not directly going to the jiva, it's not going to have effect of the human prakriti that, the adult, or, once the umbilical cord is cut, that's when the baby will start breathing on its own, and that's when it's actually considered to have an independent body. So anyway,
Yeah, actually pranas, yeah. So prana is a little bit complicated because when the soul leaves the body, right, one body and goes to find the other body, then it carries its subtle body with it, which is mind, intelligence, and false ego. Actually, it also carries its own pran vayus, right? It's not just that it's the mother that carries, it has its own pran vayu that it goes. And what are the mechanisms of how the pran vayus flow inside his body? I don't know that. That those kind of details I don't know. But it does carry. Bhagavatam says that the pran vayus go with the body. They depart with the body like that. But yes, to your point, that if you look at it from the mechanical perspective, as long as the umbilical cord is there, he's not breathing through his nose. Definitely, yes, definitely he's breathing through some other mechanism. But because there are so many types of pran vayu, the air that you breathe is pran, that air, udan, saman, I don't remember what, there are 10 kinds of air, those are there. But there are other airs also. There are other airs also that are not as prominent. Like that. For example, there is an air in the body that pushes the stool out of the body, right? There is an air in the body that makes you yawn. Like, you see fetuses yawning inside the uterus. They show you sonographs, right? Their child is yawning. So they yawn. So what is that air that makes your mouth go, open up? So there's an air that operates over there. There's an air that operates on the eyes, that makes your eyes blink. So of course the fetuses have their eyes closed, but sometimes they even have their eyes open, right? So there's some air acting there also. So yeah, it's just very interesting to watch. But but I don't want to go back into another room.
Okay,
It's dark.
can I ask my question?
Yeah. What's your second question, Nida?
My second question, actually now I forgot. Never mind.
You should write them down. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Anybody else wants to share something or anything here while we are on the call?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti.
I have a question. So, when I was relatively new in ISKCON, in Mumbai, people used to wish like Hare Krishna to you, may you never get another bird, like that. And I really like that idea because this material world is habitual situation, and we get little relief but more misery, or equal, or it just depends upon your previous karma, right? So is that better, or praying like this is better, that no matter where I am, but as long as I get service to my Guru and Krishna, I don't mind any birth because I won't be miserable. Which one is better?
Yeah. So second one is better. Second one is better, but it has a little flavor. It has a little dirt in it. And I'll tell you why. The second reasoning has a little dirt in it, because it said, I will be less miserable. You see, that is the catch. When our consciousness moves to the fact that I'm not doing anything for my satisfaction, which means I'm willing even to be put in a miserable situation. And that's a very high level of thinking, that no matter, and this is true bhakta things like that no matter where I am put, right? Lord, janma janma, what does he say? Na janam na dhanam na sundaram kavitam va jagatish kame mana janmana janmana ishware bhavta tvam bhakti ahetuki. So what is he asking for? That janam and janam, all that I want is causeless bhakti for you. The causeless means that there was nothing in it, nothing in me inside it. I was not saying that, let me do some bhakti because I'm hurting here. Let me do some bhakti because I have chronic diseases and things like that. Actually, I'm saying that as part of my bhakti, if I have to stand in the scorching heat and distribute books, or I have to stand in the hot kitchen and I have to cook, or I have to go out and take a shower in the cold water when it is cold, I will do that for you, Krishna, because you like people who do devotional service. You really like it when I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning because you want people to be praying during Brahma Muhurta. That is the right, approach. So, and this is what I'm saying, Preeti, that we all have anarthas. It's not just you. It's not your way of thinking. Like, I was just now saying I don't even want to go into the womb because it's dark there, right? It's dark over there. I'd also asked, and about this thing about wanting to come back to this world again to serve your spiritual master. That is a question that I asked of His Holiness Keshav Bharati Maharaj. He had come to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. He's usually stationed in Govardhan. And so he was saying that you all should just work hard so that you go back to Govardhan, go to Goloka. And I asked him that well, they say that if a disciple does not get liberated and doesn't go back to Golok Vrindavan, then his spiritual master keeps coming back to teach him and take him back. So if my spiritual master, even if I'm good, there might be somebody who might be who might not go back. So my spiritual master is again going to come here. And so why should not I stay here and serve my spiritual master, right? Which is a very lofty thing to say, and it was a very lofty desire. But then he pointed out the practicalities also of that. Don't ever challenge Maya. Don't ever think that I have become good enough that I can keep coming back to this material world and I'll be safe. This material world is not safe at all. Not safe at all. One small thing and your senses can get diverted here and there. One trace of some small desire and that's it. You are doomed now again into this material world. So don't throw challenges to Maya like that, even mentally in your mind. And the second thing is that he said that, do you know that all the service that you do here for your spiritual master is actually a practice that you're doing here to be able to serve Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Krishna really wants you back. So your desire should be to go back to Golok Vrindavan and let Krishna decide. After all, when the spiritual master comes, he doesn't come alone, right? He comes with his project team. Like even Krishna doesn't come alone. Krishna comes with his whole troop of people, right? All the Brajbasis and all the, cowherd boys and cowherd girls and Arjuna and all that, they are his team, right? That's the troop that performs the play. So your spiritual master will bring you if needed, but don't do that as a goal in life, that this is what my goal is, that I want to be with my spiritual master and let me come back to this material world. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma. So my point about misery was that even if we are suffering, but if we hear Krishna Katha, we connected with Krishna, somehow we feel lesser.
Yes,
so
it does.
That's what I meant with.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And the second thing I wanted to share is that how you mentioned that Maya is so strong. I love that point. Like we should not challenge Maya. Because I recently heard that, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, like, what do you pray for? What do you think when you're chanting? So Prabhupada said, I pray that let Maya never affect me. So if somebody so exalted is praying, then what are we? So thank you for sharing that.
Exactly. Yeah. And for the benefit of those who are away from this phone, Preeti Radhika just shared about, not ever giving challenge to Maya. And she said that even Prabhupada used to pray that let Maya not, challenge me. Yeah. And if Prabhupada, such an exalted person, is praying like that, what to talk about us, right? We are figs, so to speak, as Prabhupada uses that term a lot, right? We are figs in front of him. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Veda, did it come back to you? Yeah, go ahead.
So we were discussing about what happens when a Brahmin is committing a sin while he is the most knowledgeable about the scriptures. So what kind of punishment does Brahmin get when they do commit those anarthas? Because it sounds like this is just human plane. It sounds like if killing them is itself anartha for the one who is judging them, like Yudhishthira, then it just seems to have some kind of protection for them to make any kind of sin they may want, although that's not a true Brahmin. So I want to clarify that.
Yeah. So it'll depend on what they have done. And we will see in the case of Ashwatthama what is done. And it's very interesting. Shastras are very, very interesting, and the way Shastras deal with things, and they have a very different way of looking at things. For example, during the Mahabharata, or even before Mahabharata, when all this anger was going on, the war is going to happen and things like that, Arjuna had said that, anybody who says anything about my Gandiva over here, I'm going to kill him. Like that to me. That was a statement he made. And remember, in those days, if you make a statement, then you stick with the statement. So then during the war, what happens is that Karna is having a big fight with Yudhishthira. And Karna was a better fighter than Yudhishthira. We knew that. And Yudhishthira got exhausted. He was about to be killed. But then we know our Karna, right? Karna says, you're not even worthy. You're such a small shot. I won't even stoop down to killing you. You go away. Bring on Arjuna. I want to kill him. Like that. He says that. So Yudhishthira retires to his camp. And his chariot driver will take him back to the camp. And he's sitting there. And then Arjuna is in some part of the battlefield, and he hears about that. So he hears about that, and he comes running to see what happened to his elder brother, and is he safe or not? Because somebody tells that it's a huge fight that is going on between the two of them, and he knows his brother cannot stand in front of Karna. So he goes there running to find out about the good, about the welfare of Yudhishthira, whether how he is. So he enters the tent. And so asks, brother, how you are? And so the first question the brother asks is, have you killed Karna? Because Yudhishthira is humiliated by Karna's statements, right? He's humiliated and he says, where is Karna? Tell me, where is Karna? Have you killed Karna? He says, no, I did not kill him. I first came to find out how you are. And Yudhishthira gets angry now. So Yudhishthira says that, it'll sound better in Hindi, Dikar hai tumhare gandiv pe, phek do se. He says, throw away that Gandiv bow. What good it is for you, for anybody, that you could not kill somebody who has done this. And then Arjun remembers. And he says that, oh, I had said if anybody says anything bad about me and about the Gandiva, I'm going to kill him. So he gets ready to kill his brother. That's what they do, right? And then Krishna arrives at that moment. Of course, Krishna always arrives at the right moment, at least for the Pandavas, for his devotees. And so he goes there and he says, hey, Arjuna, what are you doing? You're killing your brother? Like that. So then Arjuna said, but I have to kill him, because I have this promise. And, we go by our word. We are Kshatriyas, we go by our words. And so then Krishna says, okay, let me tell you here, saying bad words to your elder and a respectable person is the same as killing them. So he says, now you go and you say bad words to Yudhishthira. That will be as good as you have killed them. So then you would have kept your promise that anybody says bad things about the Gandiva, I will kill them. So you have killed them. So now Arjuna goes and he starts saying, so what do you think, huh? So Karna did such and thing of thing, and you shout at me. You couldn't shout at him, and I'm your younger brother. You're telling me this. And where were you? You are the one who brought all this thing on us, right? You took the challenge for that gambling game, right? And now you're telling me like that. He says all that. And now Yudhishthira is listening to all this, and he's like, oh my goodness. Now my youngsters are speaking like this. Why am I even fighting this war? What will I get by becoming the king if my own younger siblings are talking to me like that? So he now gets ready to commit suicide or leave everything and leave the war and go away. Now Arjuna is looking at Krishna and he's saying, now what do I do? You told me to do this, what do I do? Now I should kill myself. Now Krishna is singing, I had to tell him so much of Bhagavad Gita to make him fight. And now in the middle of the war, now he again wants to leave the war and go away. So then Krishna tells him that, you start praising yourself. When you start speaking yourself about your good qualities, you are as good as dead. You're as good as you have killed yourself. So then Arjuna says that and everything becomes hunky-dory. So what I'm saying, Meda, is that, Shastras go very deep, and that's why we require some bigger person to tell us what to do, in such a situation, and they will come up with an apt, very, very apt punishment even for a Brahmana, right? And stay tuned, come to us next week or the few weeks after, and we'll know what happens to Ashwatthama. Like that.
Thank you, Mataji. It's very pleasant.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, yeah. Surachana, were you saying something?
No, Mataji.
Okay. All right, so then we will, let me just see if there's something here on Facebook. Okay, no, nothing here. Very good. And Anita Agarwal, thank you so much for joining us here on the call. So we will call it a day here. Tomorrow is Saturday, and we have good news that we have Japa in Circle right in the morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, led by none other than His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. So please join us on ISKCON Silicon Valley Zoom call, or you can join on ISKCON Silicon Valley's Facebook page. And then that will be followed by something even better, and that is a Srimad Bhagavatam class or a Chaitanya Charitamrita class. So those are fantastic classes. Please do join us. And as far as my other classes go, we will resume again for a short class on Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the call. And we'll call it a day here today. Have a fantastic weekend. Distribute as many books as you can. And if you have anybody who needs a Bhagavatam, please contact me. Okay. Thank you, Kalpataru. Thank you, Sonamagati. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Gaur Premanande Hari. Okay, so I'm going to switch off this conference, and I'm going to switch off the Zoom conference again. Have a fantastic day, everybody.